I'm just kidding. What's up, everybody? Welcome back. I know it's been such a long time, but you guys know what it is. It's the frequency. So long. It's been so long. We're apologizing for how long it's been, but we're going to catch you guys
sorry.
up. We are
so sorry.
It's been so much going on. I'm Chris Maria, and I'm joined here with my co-host, Q. Q, we got to apologize to the people for just the wait. Y'all.
People, we are sorry. We are sorry. Listeners, we are sorry. Sometimes life hits you and you sometimes have to isolate and, disconnect a little bit. And it's okay to do that. It's okay to do that. Sometimes you need to get yourself together. Me personally, I was going through some things. Chris, she was going through some things, but she also had an amazing thing happen. So I want everybody to make sure that if you're watching, give it up for her, because her and Sam recently got married. Oh my God, it was a beautiful, beautiful wedding. So if you guys go to her page, you'll be able to see all the pics. Her and her young daughter, Gabby, looks amazing. And Sam just looks dapper as well in the wedding. So make sure y'all give it up for Chris in the comments and in the video. Congratulations, Chris. How are you feeling as a newlywed?
Everybody always asks me that. They're like, oh, I went to one of my friends. I was in one of my friends' wedding a couple of weeks ago. And, someone said, well, how do you feel now that you're married? And I'm like, yo, me and Sam have been doing this for so long, I don't even really think that we pay attention to, we feel like, obviously we know we're married, right? But It just feels very natural. I can say that. I can say that this isn't, I think one time I was watching The Real and Jenny Mai said that within the first year, she kind of knew she shouldn't be there. And she kind of just felt it. This feels so natural that I almost forget, but then I'm always still a little bit shocked, not to get real mushy, but I'm always a little bit shocked because I'm like, dang, I married him. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's what I want to know. I'm just surprised Sam ain't tired of your shit yet because man, you something else. I'm just saying.
Right. And I, like I said, I was in one of my friends' wedding a couple of weeks ago, and there was just so many people from Ellen and college and stuff. Mm-hmm. And, people who knew us in college, just I wonder if other people are just y'all got to let me know in the comments if they're dang, and some of my friends was dang, y'all got married. I don't think we ever went, well, at least for me, I can't speak for him, but for myself, when I met him, I don't think I generally thought I was going to marry him. I probably would have been a nicer person.
That's exactly why you hear it. Sam, when you hear this, make sure you
I'm sorry, take
you out to a nice dinner, get you a back massage, get you a foot massage, because you're going to owe him after this. Damn, you did not think that you didn't, well, I'm not going to say you didn't think, but really he was kind of out of sight, out of mind at that point. You really wasn't checking for him like that.
I wasn't. There was a point where obviously, y'all know, I tell this story a million times. We had our, entanglements or whatever. We had our discrepancies and we kind of just went two different ways. But I just never in a million years, even when we got engaged, I was like, dang, now we're engaged. Oh my gosh, we're getting ready to get married. Just watching him with Gabs, I'm just oh my gosh, I just never, it's so surreal. It is a surreal moment. It is a very surreal moment. I think even on our honeymoon, I said one time, babe, can you believe the 180 we just did? We just, just complete 180. Just 1 minute we don't mess around with each other, and the next minute now we're together. It was crazy. It's just, and I look at him sometimes when he's asleep, and I'm just I cannot believe I married him. A girl that went off to Ball State. And then a guy that went off to Ball State, met him in college, and then 10 years fast forward, I marry him. It's crazy.
But can you tell the people, I want you to tell the people how much work that you and Sam had to really put in to make sure y'all get to a place.
Oh, man, that's a whole nother episode.
Yeah, that's a whole nother episode. But if you listen, then listeners, it's them getting to that point. It's not just because, they getting married within the 3 months of knowing each other. You know what I mean? They put in time together. Like Crystal, she's a handful. As little as she is, she's a handful. So
Quentin, I thought you was gonna give me a compliment here. Like,
I am giving you a compliment. I'm going to give Sam a compliment. He's a strong man for having to. He's a strong man because I think personally, when you marry someone, sometimes in most cases, it's always the man giving up more than the woman to make sure that things. Okay, we probably about to get a little sexist.
Not even a little bit sexist. That's not sexist.
But I'm just saying, it in most cases, it's always the man that gives up something part of him to make sure that the woman's happy, which is fine if that's what type of man you're going to deal with, or what type of man you are. But in you guys' situation, it sounds very complimentary with each other. It's like you guys don't have to give up, a piece of yourself to be able to come one together, but still be individuals. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. It makes complete sense. But I would challenge that narrative to say that when you are in a relationship with somebody, it shouldn't feel like one is giving up more than the other. I mean, they rather, right? So at one point, one's going to feel like they shouldn't feel like, oh, I'm doing the most right now. But sometimes you might have to do more, and then your spouse might have to do more. So I think it always should complement each other. I think when it stops complementing each other, it starts to be more of a takey relationship, and then someone's going to start to resent the other person. But if you have general compromise, because women give up a lot too, men want to, have kids, and they want to have, you have to stretch your body out to do that. You got
not all men.
Okay, not all men, but some men want their women to stay at home, and their women like to work and make their own money. Like women, you sacrifice too, like I'm just saying there's sacrifices in both instances. For some people, the woman moves and the man stays stable and she goes off and looks for a new job. It just depends on whatever it is, right? So it's just Q, that's a whole nother. Why don't we jump on you for a little bit? We're gonna a little bit, and then we're gonna get into all these juicy topics that we have for you guys. So, but I want to start just to see how you've been, what's been going on, because we have been in and out for a little bit, guys. It's just the schedules were,
Yeah, we took like a mini sabbatical.
We did. We took and I think everybody should take a sabbatical.
For sure, man. The last few months has really been crazy. Switching jobs, working more stress under my life. Right. And I think everybody gets to a point where, if you are at a point in your life that you're kind of going kind of steady, and then when you hit a bump, not even a bump, when you get hit with a sinkhole, right, and you have to adjust, sometimes it's okay to adjust the way you do as long as it's not detrimental to yourself. Right. At my last job, I was feeling like just not feeling well. Like I'm working hard. I'm working on the weekends. You know what I'm saying? I'm working, grinding doing DoorDash. You know what I mean?
Was you doing DoorDash for real?
Yeah.
How was that? Did you ever want to steal somebody's food?
No, that's just ridiculous. Like there's no point. And people, it's okay for you to have a little side hustle if that's what you need to do what you need to do, or to get to where you need to be. But one thing that Chris always preached to me and a couple of other people is you just always have to trust God's timing. And I think men and women, I think when we get to a point in our careers that you've just been there for so long and you're not feeling appreciated, or you've been at a job working a warehouse and you're tired. Guys know you working at a warehouse, even women too, you working at a warehouse, you tired, you don't want to work at no warehouse. Like that's something that that you're not set up, not necessarily set up to do, but that's not where your talents are supposed to take you. So the last few months has been crazy for me. I recently just signed on to my new offer like a couple of weeks ago for a new job.
Can we give a shout out to that really quick?
Shout out to God. Yeah. Shout out to God. Shout out to Mom.
Shout out to you doing your due diligence, and faith without work is dead. So good job for doing that.
I can't even take the credit. I got to give credit to people like you, Chris, people like my family, my sis, my girl, A couple
Okay,
episodes.
okay, hold on. He
Sam,
try to slide the girl in there, didn't he?
Pharaoh, and you said what?
I said
Try
you
to
was trying
slide.
to slide your girl in there, and then the people
I
don't even
mean,
look, y'all. Now look, y'all. I didn't try to tell y'all. I said a lot of stuff about Q, but I didn't try to tell y'all. He's such a nice guy. He's such a nice boy, like my mom would say about him. He's such a nice boy. And y'all slept, so now he got a girl. So
I mean, they slept, and then I slept too because I just knew that something wasn't just about the right. So I just went back.
Hey boo,
Go,
hey girlfriend,
go do.
hey girl. We're gonna give you a little shout out real quick. Hey girl.
Hey,
you ain't gonna say her
I'll
name.
see you later. I'll see you later. But in retrospect, just looking back at it, you really don't know what God is doing behind the scenes for you. And when I tell y'all for real, when they gave me the job offer, I'm stressed. I'm talking to my bro about it. I'm just like, he like, bro, you all right? I'm like, man, I'm just stressed, man, because I know I could be making more money. I know I could be using my talents better than what I'm doing. And there's no reason for me to be stressed about certain things that's going on my life. Like I'll grind or whatever to make a dollar. You know what I mean? There's nothing like there's no like laziness in my blood. I'm gonna do what I need to do. But when you get to, it's not even about reaching the pinnacle. Like this wasn't even reaching the pinnacle for me. It was just me getting to the next level. But taking that small win and like for real, y'all, I literally like cried because you set yourself up like daily to do better, to elevate yourself. You know what I mean? And when someone really sees that talent in you and they give you a chance, you got to take it and run with it. So I just encourage anybody that if you're going through a hard time at your job or you feel like you need to leave your job, take your time and, put some applications out there so you can, take that leap of faith and go to another position. Because there's also an article that I've seen. There was a TikTok on Twitter that a girl said that you lose 50% of your lifetime earnings staying at a job longer than 3 years. I read about the article and it was on Forbes as well. And it's actually true. You lose half of your lifetime earnings staying at a job longer than you need to. Because I was also talking to one of my uncles. He's been at a company for 29 years. Well, no, actually 32 years now. So he's been at a company 32 years. People that do the same job as him come in making as much as he is now, if not more. Yep. And he told me, he was like, I'm glad that you took this opportunity to go to a different job and go get more money because I should have done that same thing. And right now he's 54, 55 right now. And he's saying he's been at that job for 32 years. So he said that he should have taken an opportunity to go somewhere else and make more money. But at that time and with people and around his area, you get at a job, it has
stay
good
there.
benefits.
You work your way up.
Stay there.
Yeah.
Right. You work your way up. But then you always also realize that they only give you crumbs to make sure that you stay happy. So they just feed you enough carrots to keep you into the race. But sometimes you got to say, fuck the race and go on your own path. So again, I just want to appreciate everybody for sticking by us while we go through some of the life changes that we've been through, and just continue to rock with us because we're going to be back. We're going to be fresh. And we got, like Chris said, we got a lot
some
of good
hot
topics.
stuff coming.
Yeah, we got some hot topics for you guys
so
today.
Just bear with us a little bit.
Just a little bit.
I do want to say something real quick about something you said. And I just want to say this because sometimes, I say a lot of stuff, y'all. and I'm very firm on practicing what you preach. So, this is something that, I had to, recently just remember myself, which is God's timing, or just being in the right timing, in the right alignment. So I do want to say sometimes things happen to you, like Q saying, I move jobs, but sometimes that's a setup for a bigger blessing. And sometimes we dwell on what we lost instead of what we're about to gain. And sometimes I really just want to say this because I have to constantly remind myself too. So this is not something that just comes naturally or easily, but I really want to challenge people to not dwell so much on what you lost, but what is to gain. Like, why did I go through this process? What is next? What am I going to gain? I understand this was not the right time, but so maybe you just graduated and you thought that you would be, getting ready to go onto your dream job or get married. Yeah, whatever it is. Maybe you feel like you should be married, or your friends are getting married or having babies, whatever it is. I've said this before. You got to trust the timing, So, one thing that I read the other day is to be awake is not to know all these theories or conspiracy theory, but it's to know your moment in time. And so I challenge people that. So it's to know your moment in time. So what I'm saying about that is to understand your purpose and your moment in time. And that's when you're truly awake. Is, oh my gosh, I'm walking in alignment. Oh my gosh, I'm walking into my moment in time. It is my moment. One person that I love that is a really big, that I can shout this out, is really big on this, is Tabitha Brown. We love Auntie Tabitha.
We love Auntie Tabitha with her rocking afro.
Right. Okay. Come on, Tabitha. But she speaks on this. She started off as an actress. She wanted to do all of these things. And she made one cooking episode and it blew up because it was her moment in time. So I really do want to challenge people. I know, for people who don't, whether you believe in God or not, but just to trust the timing and the setup. Because sometimes it's not that, no one's thinking about you. It's just that God might be setting the stage for you. You get what I'm saying? God was setting the stage for him to have something greater. So I wanted to point that out because that's something I constantly have to revisit, that, I got to trust the process or the setup, because you can't get to where you're trying to go without the process or the setup. And we can get onto this longer, but I'm not going to preach to y'all, I promise. So
just remember, y'all, when you believe, your steps are already ordered in faith.
That's right.
You got to put some prayer behind. You got to put some work behind that prayer. Yeah. And you got to be patient.
You got to be patient, and you got to know what you're praying for. Be detailed about your prayers. Don't just be like, oh, I want this and this and that. Be detailed about your prayers. And I'm not saying like, God, I want a blue car on July. I'm not saying like that, because obviously he knows the desires in your heart. But I'm just saying, be more detailed, and just trust the setup. Because sometimes God got to set the stage before any performance. The stage got to be set. So that's where I'm gonna leave that. But we're gonna go ahead and get into these juicy topics. We're so sorry we wanted to catch up with everybody. So
there's a lot been going on right now, and we're not gonna spend too much on this real quick, but I have to bring it up. Summer's here. The summer's here. We all know.
We in the streets.
Outside. We outside. We outside like a motherfucker right now. And I have to recently tell you, I have recently got the vaccine.
Oh my gosh. Cute.
I know. I got
the
vaccine.
We are Zombie Nation. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
What the fuck?
Kidding. No. I'm sorry, Tom. My friend got the vaccine.
If anybody knows me, everybody knows I am anti-government. I am
But you got that vaccine, though.
And I got the vaccine.
You can no longer be anti-government.
I'm still anti-government. I am the Black Ron Swanson, and I will continue to be the Black Ron Swanson. But just to give y'all a little take about that, I listened to some of my family members who are ministers and whatnot, and they told me, no matter what man puts in your body, it's not what God put into your spirit. So if we, somehow turn into a zombie, after this.
No, it ain't no we the same French class.
I mean, I said we and the people who took the vaccine, me and the people who took the vaccine. If we turn into a zombie, that's just how the shit plays out, which is fine. You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna shown your behind from Walking Dead.
What, you gonna cut my head off?
I think I would be sick with a sword. I think back in the day, my ancestors had bows and arrows and swords.
So you think you think that you're just part of the Zulu tribe of women?
Yeah, I think I was sick. I probably had some bangles on my ankles and stuff. And
so wait, Chris, you what? You 5'4"?
5'3".
You 5'3", so basically in your afterlife, I guess you can say you think that you was a Somalian woman that was 6'4".
Put my bow and arrow out.
Nah, but if you had to, do you think that you could kill a family member that turned into a zombie? Seriously, just like if the vaccine turns us to a zombie, do you think that you could kill one of your family members?
Okay, so this is so I don't know if you ever watched the season of Game of Thrones. Sam just recently started rewatching it, which I don't know why he would rewatch that. That's not something you rewatch to me because it's so sad in many cases, and it's so
Game of
cutthroat.
Thrones is like one of the greatest
I
TV
know
shows of
men
all
love
time.
it. Men love it, but I cannot always watch people get their heads cut off. But anyway, anywho, the part in there where Theon gets captured and he's tortured to like literally
Ooh,
smithereens.
that was so good.
Oh my gosh, it's so heartbreaking to me. You know, I'm like, he's been violated. He's just, you know, it's so heartbreaking to me. But his sister comes and rescues him, tries to rescue him, and he won't go with his sister. And I tell Sam all the time, she should have killed him. She should have had one of her men kill him because he is literally being tortured to death. You know what I mean? And he should, like, if you're not going to go with me and you're in that much pain, like, okay, let me reword this before this goes way out of proportion. What I'm trying to say is, if you're in that much pain and we're in the end of days and it's the end of the world and you're eating necks and heads or whatever zombies do or whatever it is, if I can't save you in that moment, I feel like she should have ordered one of her men to kill him, because that would have done him better of a service than to him sitting around and forget who he is and secretly know who he still really is and be tortured to death. So yes, I think I wouldn't do it, but if I had like an army, I would have
No. See, since you bring it up Game of Thrones, Ned Stark says, he who strikes the sentence swings the sword. So if you gonna say, okay, I need to kill you, then you should be the one doing the killing. Just saying.
I don't know if I could have just maybe, you know, back then, I mean, like before she wanted, she just cut somebody's throat.
So say Sam gets cut, gets nicked or whatever by one of his, just say he's on, you know, he owns his own business, but say he's just working with, he's partner up with somebody and they're a zombie and he gets nicked by one of them. Are you going to kill Sam? Sorry, Sam, but are you going to kill Sam?
It's so cutthroat.
I mean, I'm just saying, I got to put it out there.
I think Sam would probably want me to. I think Sam would want me to put him out of his misery. It's almost like saving somebody and they're going to be a vegetable when you save them. It's not really for them. It's really for yourself. You know what I mean? It's not really for them. It's for yourself. And so, like I tell Sam all the time, when we get old, way older, and if something ever happens to me and I become a vegetable way old from now, don't resuscitate me. Let me go and be in peace. I don't want to be here and be not in peace. So
if I can't enjoy food no more, I don't. If I can't enjoy food no more, if I'm that old and I can't enjoy food and nothing, I do not.
Just the food is the only thing.
I mean, if I can't look, I've seen 90-year-old grandmas drink beer and smoke cigarettes until they was 90 years old. So if I can still do stuff like that, not smoke the cigarettes or nothing, but if I can still have me some alcohol at that age, I'm okay. But if I can't eat good food no more like that and I can't control my bowel movements, I'm good.
Oh, straight up on the bowel movement though. I want to be able to walk to the bathroom and everything, bro. Like we good over here. I can use the restroom. But I do want to ask you a question real quick, since you did get the vaccine. There's like a rumor going around, like if you put a magnet up to your arm, it'll stick where you got the shot because they're saying it's chipped. Would you be interested in doing that?
For the next episode,
okay.
I will.
Because I really want to know. I want to put some of these conspiracies to death. You know, like if they're not real, let's get them. You know.
So we're just a black myth busters, I guess.
Yeah, myth busters. Yeah, I mean, why not? Y'all are gonna freak when he comes on here, and if he puts a magnet to his arm and it sticks, y'all are gonna freak out, and I'm gonna feel so.
I'm probably gonna freak out. You know what I mean? Because I'm gonna be like, oh shit, now I gotta go kick somebody's ass because they done gave me a shot.
They done gave you a little chippy chip.
And if they did give me a chip, guess what? It is what it is. Cause God.
Don't be trying to count on God. Don't be trying.
Hey, I said a prayer before I got the shot. I said, Lord, you know my heart. Just protect me from these evils. That's all you can say.
Because the government is on that evil duty.
And I'm not saying, and we're not saying it, not to get the shot. Do get the shot. Do what's best for you. Do your own research. Yeah, just do your own research. Shut up. Okay, we're gonna slide past that real quick though, because since we've been on our sabbatical, and I don't even want to say a young man, this old crusty man. I ain't gonna call him
He
crusty,
is
but
old. Don't ever call him
he
young. That man
crusty.
is
He
old.
crusty.
All that gray, no
He crusty to
wisdom.
me. He crusty to me. But Kevin Samuels has been in the talk for the last couple of months. My little cousin, shout out to Nate. He's a young 19-year-old, and he damn near embodies everything that Kevin Samuels says. So
Really?
he thinks that what he speaks is law. Like it's damn near
What
Jay-Z
can't wait. Can we just stop real quick? Let's do a real quick background check. For people who don't know Kevin Samuels, thank God. Okay. So I'm going to give you a real background check so you never look into him, because I feel like we need to stop giving him all these views. So Kevin Samuels is like I want to say like a chauvinist, like just like very what's the right word? Not womanizing, but like
he kind of he's a male chauvinist,
yeah,
narcissistic
yeah,
chauvinist.
yeah. So he puts women down, and he says he doesn't. He says he's just speaking truth, but y'all know, one truth person to another, because y'all know I keep it real on here. I would never go into a situation and literally try to put someone down. He's called women ugly. You know, he tells women to rate themselves when they come on his show, and he'll say like, what do you think you are on the scale to 1 to 10? And they'll say,
And you
10
can't
being
say
the
7.
highest. And they'll say like an 8, like, right? Let's just say I went on there and I said an 8. He'd be like, nah, you're like a 6. But to me, that's so opinionated, because beauty is in the eyes of the beholder. And he's just getting out of hand. I watched him tell this single mom who wanted to be celibate until she got married again that she needs to basically be busting it down for anybody. I'm sorry, let me not use those words. She needed to be, basically having sex with whomever would want to have sex with her, because at this point, her cookie was dried up and old. I mean, this is how he talks to women. But women still come on his show. And it's just like, are they now coming on his show just to challenge the narrative? He calls women's B's, he's calling them BITCHs all over the place, and hoes, and just all this.
He does the most. He does the most, and it's very, I don't even want to call it radical, because there's really nothing.
Do you think he's gay? Respectfully,
I ain't gonna say that he gay, but I ain't gonna say that he ain't never probably, done some things with another male. So I'm not here to judge what you do in your leisure time or whatever. If that's what you like to do what you do. But to me,
because he hates women, Q. How can you pull a woman? And I think
because I don't know.
I want to normalize this. This is what I want to normalize for everybody listening, men and women. Stop taking advice from people who are not in successful relationships themselves. Stop taking advice from cheaters and you want a faithful man. Stop, just stop. Stop taking advice from people who have been divorced 10 times and you want to get married. Stop taking advice from people who don't walk the walk you want to walk in. Just stop. He's not married. I don't even think he has a girlfriend. And we're taking advice from this man.
So yeah, if he ain't got
Where's Steve Harvey at when you need him?
No, we not. We don't want him neither. But I think that there's some truth on both sides sometimes of what he says, as far as the man's thinking. I would say that.
What parts are?
As far as, because as a man, for me, if it's going to be hard for me to date, just for me personally, some men are okay with it. But for me personally, if a woman has 3 kids or whatnot, it's kind of hard. If she has 3 kids and she has, let's say, 3 different baby daddies or 2 different baby daddies, it's going to, if I'm not ready for that type of action in my life or that type of responsibility in my life, then I don't need to be messing with that woman. Because as a man, I personally think about okay, so 1 baby daddy didn't work out, 2nd baby daddy didn't work out. What am I going to, if I fuck with her and I get her pregnant, am I going to become the 3rd baby daddy? Because is there something wrong with her at that point? Because if she can't keep a man, what is that? Or if they just wasn't feeding her the correct nourishment in her body and her soul and her mind, you know what I'm saying, in her spirit or whatnot.
That was
So
such a poetic way of saying that. Oh my God, I love that. I love that.
it's
Feeding
kind of,
her. Oh, ooh, I
for
love
real though,
it.
but like it's cause but I feel like in a relationship you should feed each other. You should always feed each other to
Yeah,
bring out the best of each
for
other.
sure.
So it I look at it like that, like not necessarily like I said, what's wrong with this woman, but what happened in that to make you not stay with those men, or why didn't the men stay with you? You know, what is the case in that? Because me as a man, I don't want to become your fourth baby daddy or your third baby daddy. I rather become. It's easier for me to become like marry like and marry a woman who has one kid or possibly even two kids if by the same father. So then it's like, okay, I'm the next one and I can be here from here on out. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna make this last forever. But
I,
if I'm coming in and I'm being like the third, fourth baby daddy, it's like, what the hell? It's kind of like with if you flip the script and you put
you
it
got
in
all these
clip,
baby mamas.
yeah, it's Future. I'm just like just as an example, Future. If a woman was acting like Future or whatnot, and she had all these kids by all these different men, people call Future a hoe, but in her case, it will be wrong for us to call her that. And not saying that she is, you know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that she's a hoe or she was sleeping around too much or whatever. That's probably just what she was doing at that certain time. She may not believe in abortions or anything like that or adoption, so she keeps the child and she has these children. Some women that you probably know or we've probably seen out here as well will trap a man just to get a child. So it works in all different ways, but I don't trust anything really Kevin Samuels says, because he's just kind of that same ilk of Steve Harvey. Just I don't
What
need
do you
to.
what do you dis I think a lot of people like Steve Harvey because they feel like he's been married all this time. This like what, two or three times, and
Yeah, he's been
why are we
married.
taking relationship advice from, huh?
Right. You can't really, I'm not saying that you can't trust nobody, but they on a different level than us. Like Steve Harvey has a certain type of income. You know what I'm saying? He has a certain type of status. And there's certain things that come with that status. You know what I mean? I hate to say it like that, but like if you introduce your partner to a certain lifestyle
Right.
and then something happens, you can't obtain that, keep up that lifestyle for your partner, either your partner's going to stay with you or they're going to run away. It's not no in between.
I say this. I think we as people, again, need to stop normalizing taking relationship advice from people who are not even in successful
For
relationships.
sure.
But I want to also say this with wisdom, because there is something you can learn from a divorcee. Is,
Hmm.
like when people used to ask me for my opinions, it's like I can only tell you what will not work or what did not work for us, or whatever that might be. Because I can't give you advice from having a successful marriage because I didn't have one, right? So I can give you advice on what did not work and where the breakdown was. And if you start to see these signs, then you might want to get a little concerned. That's where I can give you advice at. I can give you advice if you're going through something like that. I can, you know what I mean? Like I can only give advice on what I know. So I think that for some of these people, like the Steve Harveys and the Kevin Samuels, and I agree with you too. I heard his delivery is really, really bad. So I'm not telling you guys to go listen to him, but I will say this. I heard him make a comment about male and female roles. And there still are those core roles that I don't think as women we should override. It's the same thing Fantasia says when she says, I submit to my husband. And I think there's certain things that we should not override, because when you try to override them, it messes up the dynamic, the yin and
Hmm.
the yang. You know what I mean? It
Hmm.
messes it up. So I think that is a true statement. But I think his delivery is so awful because he really tries to put women down. I think that he might have some underlying mommy issues and that he doesn't have a good relationship. He doesn't have a good relationship with women. So don't give me advice as a woman from what a man thinks when you don't have a good relationship with women yourself. You know what I mean? I don't want to give you advice as a woman if I don't have a good relationship with my father. And I think those things play huge roles into how people see the world. And that's one of those things that we shouldn't override. The man leaves the home, so the mom is now playing both roles. And that's something I
That's
mean,
big.
it's just my
That's a
opinion.
big factor in it, though.
It's a key factor. And I'm not saying as a single mom who was a single mom, I'm not saying like go and just find somebody to balance out the whatever. I'm saying let's stop playing with fire and saying that we're not. Let's stop
Right.
saying, oh, well, just acknowledge I'm a single mom, I'm doing everything. That's okay. But also acknowledge I would like to not be. You know what I mean? And
Right.
I think
And and that's not, there's nothing wrong with that either. If you
there's
don't want to
nothing wrong
be,
with that.
if you are a single mom or a single father, because just how I said, like, yeah, I'm looking at a woman, how many kids she got or whatever, what baby daddy am I going to be? Women look at the same way. There's a lot of women that will not mess with a man because he has kids, or will not mess with a man because he doesn't have a certain job status, but listening to him, like Kevin Samuels, I don't trust anything he says, because so you telling me you not gonna mess with a woman that makes more than you, but you handle everything else as a man. You take care of your bills as a man. You know how to fix a car. You know how to fix things around the house. You telling me a woman that makes a little bit more than you is not going to respect
Who
you?
cares?
I guarantee you, a woman right now, a woman right now is looking for a man that knows how to fix on cars, fix things around the house, cut the grass, make sure she good. You know what I'm saying? Either pay the bills or pay his portion of the bills and make sure everything good in the household, and take care of her, make sure she happy and the kids happy, and they cool. You know what I'm saying? It's real cool. But I think there's this false notion that if there's always like, if you can't provide this, then you shouldn't receive this, which is I believe it's kind of hard to, it's like a double-edged sword, because yeah, you should always want your partner to provide a certain way, you know what I'm saying, or to know how to um, put in, I guess, put into the household. But I mean, I'm kind of old school a little bit. If you're a man, if you don't work, you don't eat. You know what I mean? That's usually how it is. But if you have a woman that does make either more than you or as much as you, it's okay, bro. As long as you handling your place in the bedroom, you handling your shit as a man and
Okay.
shit like that, you ain't got to worry about nothing else. And these
You ain't gotta
roles,
worry
like,
about nerd. No, just
right,
kidding.
you can
I
you
do
can
think
really.
this. I will say this: women do like to feel secure and protected and all of those things.
For sure.
But I think that you know, Gabriella was saying something to me that she was like, "Yeah, because you don't make as much money as Daddy." Like it's like the shade that entered the room.
Right, that is
You know,
shady
I was like,
from
well,
your own people.
he owns his own business, so sometimes maybe I will make more than him, and sometimes he'll make triple as much as I make in a week, but it just depends. But it doesn't matter, like to me, you put the money in one account, it doesn't matter as long as the woman or the man is not belittling one or the other because they're not bringing in as much as they are or whatever. I think it's fine. And I do, and Q, actually, I think it's a great thing. I say this all the time, and I say this when I was a single mom. I was on here saying this: if you don't want to date a woman with kids, don't date a woman with kids. If you don't want to date a man with kids, don't date a man with kids. It's like,
It's not that
it's
hard.
not that hard. It's just that simple. If that's one of your no-nos, then abide by that. You don't come into a situation and belittle somebody or treat them bad because they are now, which is what Kevin Samuels was doing, because they are now a mother or a
Yeah, or
father.
he makes it a point to make it seem like they're washed up, or
Yeah, and dried
or they're,
out.
yeah, like, or they're not like a spring chicken anymore. Like, screw all that.
Hey, I was still
Men and
young and
women,
supple, baby. Okay.
that's gross.
I think that's doing your due diligence, right?
There's nothing
I don't,
wrong with that.
there's nothing wrong with that. You need to, before you take on such a big responsibility like that, you got to ask yourself. I would felt really bad if someone came in here and not have asked himself, like, is this something I really want to take on?
Right.
Anybody's situation. It don't even have to be kids, but let's say that person's being abused, or let's say that person don't have a good solid background. Do you want to deal with that?
What if your partner had a deficiency that came up after the fact? Or like, what if your partner had to be in a wheelchair for a whole year and a half? Are you still going to stick with your partner through stuff like that? You got to really
That's
mentally
what's
think
up.
about that.
Okay. before you go into do all these relationships. And I don't know, for Kevin, I saw him speaking to Shekinah, and it's just like, y'all, please, I don't know if y'all just doing it now because it's a joke, but stop getting advice. Stop going on this man's podcast. Like, real talk,
Please,
like, what do he be talking about? Like, I cannot
please.
stand men, but I do want to ask you a real quick question before we jump on our next topic. Is
Okay.
why do you feel like men are taking their advice? Because I heard you said you had a cousin that was like, thinks he's like the guru of life, you know?
Why do I think? Because
How old is your cousin, by the way?
he's
Like
19. Shout
19.
out to Nate. Shout out to Nate. But
He's 19.
yeah, he's 19. He's a young buck.
Okay.
So I think it kind of comes with what's going on with our society or that next generation under us about what can you provide. As a man, he sees it as, oh, I'm going to handle my business, and I'm in his thing. My little cousin's my big thing is, if I should be able to have my pickings of who I want.
Right.
Not that's usually not how it goes, bro. But like I said before, if you have a certain type of status or a certain type of rank or a certain type of net worth, as far as monetary net worth,
Right.
you'll have a different access to whatever. But you'll also get a woman that don't know how to do shit. Possibly, you might not. You might get a woman that don't know how to do shit, don't know how to feed your soul and your spirit, and actually know you. She's just there for the access that you give her to these multiple things,
Right.
or these multiple adventures, money, whatever. So I think it kind of comes with that, because Kevin Samuel says that, yeah, men should have their pickings. If you're a man making $80,000 or $100,000, you're single, no kids or whatnot, you should have your pickings. Not necessarily, because really, what's fucked up? What's wrong with you? Like, I hate that we've gotten to the point in society that it's just about what can you provide for me monetary. Like there's this Instagram chick.
Transactional. Everything's so
Yeah,
transactional.
everything's so transactional. Like, not saying things shouldn't be transactional, because if you get into a relationship with somebody, you do have certain things that, like, look, I'm not going to disrespect you. I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to do that.
Right.
And but in this case, I think that people have just gotten to that point where it's just everything's transactional. Now, and I meant to say this Instagram chick or whatever, I'm scrolling through Twitter or whatever, and this Instagram chick said, what can you do for me? My boyfriend just put me on a private jet to go somewhere or whatever. So what can you provide for me? Now, I'm not saying that I don't know what she does. I don't care. It doesn't really matter what she does. But 3 months ago, she also had the same. She had a different post with a different nigga. You know what I mean? So it's really about men are giving it to these women, because I'm not saying that they're just looking at them for their bodies, but that's what it seems like. They're just fucking with these women because of either their bodies or they look good or whatnot. And, they get nasty. And if they get nasty, hey, more power to them. But these women are just looking, most of these women are just looking for a come up. What can you provide for me? Like, okay, there's nothing wrong with a man taking care of his woman, making sure that she's set in so many different ways. But for me, it's like, are you just with me just about the way that I can provide? Are you really worried about how I am mentally? Do you know how I tick? Do you know the good and the bad about me? Like, how much can I express to you as being my woman? Because if I can't do that, then for me, I'm not going to make sure that you kept. I'm not going to make sure that we go out now. Like, you're going to be really out of sight. Like, if I go to the mall or something, or if I'm at the store or something, I'm going to think about, let me call my girl and see if she needs anything, But if you're not like that type of woman, then I'm not going to, like, if you don't feed me like that, then I'm not going to look for you. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to worry about what you're doing, because you don't give a damn about what I'm doing unless it's something given to you. And that's just not how the society should work. But I mean, that's where we are.
I mean, that's the society they're trying to build us. I mean, like,
yeah, for
we
sure.
were talking to Brittany a couple of episodes ago, or last episode.
Mm-hmm.
She was saying, that it's to weaken us. We are so detached from what we should really be focusing on and doing. And I think, like, in a relationship, to me, like, yeah, maybe it would be great to date somebody that can immediately take you on yachts and take you on trips and whatever.
For
That
sure.
sounds
Money
sure,
gives
for
you
sure. If
money
that's
gives
the
you
kind
that
of
access.
person he is, great. But you also have to remember relationships go up in so many highs and so many lows. And the lows is when you really find out, like real talk, y'all, this is when you really find out what your relationship is about. You know what I
Mm.
mean? Like, why y'all really there? Like Q just said, like, what if, you know, your person gets, you know, disabled and they have to be in a wheelchair for, are you really finna give this man sponge baths? Is you really finna walk this man to teach him, help him walk again? You know, like, I think that makes it richer though. To me, that
Mm-hmm.
makes the relations, again, like I said earlier, right when we started this episode, stop focusing on the loss and focus on the gain. To me, that makes the relationship richer. Like all the stuff me and Sam have been through, it makes the relationship more richer. It makes us more bonded. It makes us more solid. You know what I mean? Because when you get through something like that, it's either gonna something that would make you or break you. It's gonna literally make you stronger if you get through it. So I think sometimes, yeah, it would be great to, you know, have a man to do that, but sometimes it's okay to speak life into your man and watch him and be there from the day one. It's like a Kadeem and DeVale Ellis. Do you know about the Ellises?
Mm-mm.
Well, he used to play football, whatever. He played football, and then, you know, he lost his football contract. They went broke for a while, and now they are very successful, you know. And it's just, I'm sure that relationship is so much richer because, you know,
They've been through
here
some
from the
shit.
ground. Yeah, they've been there from the ground
Right.
up. So,
But speaking on like we talk about transactions and stuff like that, and because there's been a lot of women out there making transactions to go get these BBLs. I want to
somebody
hear.
said, I read something the other day. Somebody said plastic surgery is not for the cheap. I said, okay, you better not be.
It's not. It's not because these women is giving up they whole. They gotta. they paying for. They paying for their surgery, but they still got to come back and work right after that surgery just to pay off that surgery. So I want to hear your take as a woman. What do you feel about the whole BBL or plastic surgery movement that's going on?
I think I've said this before. I used to want a BBL. I'm so sorry, babe. If you're listening, I'm so sorry, honey. But I did. I wanted a BBL. You know, I say
The
that I'm sorry because,
Brazilian butt lift, right?
huh?
That's the Brazilian butt lift, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I just
Mm-hmm.
want to make
But
sure.
I wanted the one with the fat transfer.
So you just want to take the.
Wait, and to point this out, not to like overextend my body, but just to give it a little extra, you know, poop, you know, not to you. I have like hip dips, what they call hip dips, and I just wanted just a little filler, like, you know, 2 cm.
But what's wrong with hip? I don't understand what the whole thing of what's wrong with hip dips.
There's nothing wrong with them. I'm gonna say that because I have them, and for other women who have them, there's nothing wrong with them. But you know, hip dips is like your hips dip in, so your butt kind of, instead of it being like a wide and round and full, it's like a poke out. Like, instead of, because you don't have no hips right there. And so I just wanted you know, just a little bit. I don't know. I think women do things and most women, and if you are getting plastic surgery, I hope people do that to enhance themselves, to make themselves feel good. There's certain things that I would want to get done with my body, if I'm being 100% honest, just from having kids and stuff. Sam makes fun of me all the time. You know, he's like, what do you want to have, some 19-year-old body? You know, he always makes fun of me because I'm always like, I want this to sit up like this. And he's like, eventually everything's gonna sag.
Yeah, everything on touch gravity.
Like, what are you gonna get, like some 19-year-old body? And I don't want like any like silicone or anything put in. I just want things lifted back to where they were, you know, because after you have kids and you're getting older, you know, gravity starts to pull on them, you know. And so I think it's so hard for me to comment on plastic surgery, but I think we're overdoing the BBLs though.
You're definitely overdoing the BBL.
And the lip injection.
Yeah, that whole thing about the whole
Would
like the
you be
flight
okay if
picture.
your
I
girl got
think
a BBL? Would you like? I mean, like, what do men really think about BBL? Some do say if it's a fat transfer and not the shots or silicone, then they're cool with it.
if
Like,
it's a
but
if it's a fat transfer, yeah, I'm gonna help you change your bandages because this is something that you want to do. But if you're doing something to enhance your body so you can get other looks out there, then look, you need to leave me. Nah, I'm not. I love me a natural woman. Ain't nothing wrong with no saggy breasts. Ain't nothing wrong with no hip dips. Ain't nothing wrong with no cellulite. I'm gonna tell you, take it even further. Ain't nothing wrong with the fupa. Okay,
you always
you
be talking about somebody fupa.
you
You
kiss
always
the
be talking about
fupa
somebody.
before you eat the chalupa, and you know where I'm going with that. So you kiss the fupa before you eat the chalupa. So man, we do not care. Like real, I'm
Do
not gonna
you
say this.
really not care though? It's
I
just
do not care. I do not care. Look, if you thick, that's wonderful. If you slim thick, that's wonderful. If you just a little bit, you on the little chubby side. Look, you still look good, and guess what? You still gonna get hit and get cuddled on. Not now, because I'm off the market. But I'm just saying, back in the day, hey, come on, man. There's a lot of, come on, man. Men do not think about that
but
because
there's just so much. Let me just say this. There's just so much pressure on women to be all of these things. And I'm gonna say this because I know we talked about the BBLs and the natural bodies, and I'm always team natural body. I probably don't want to get work done, just like I would never get work done and add something. I would just like lift it back up if y'all ever saw me get work done. But I don't want to get work done because I'm now on this advocacy for natural bodies because we just don't normalize them anymore. And they're just frowned upon, and the stretch marks are just, and not even maybe from men, but just from society. And it's all a ploy so they can get us in their operating rooms and make us pay more money and blah, 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 right? But you got and I love her to death. And I know what she meant when she said this, but it just was such bad timing. Like we have to wear our hair a certain way at work, or we don't look presentable depending on the job. You got Monique out here telling us not to go outside in a bonnet. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. Okay.
Crystal wears her bonnet.
I'm gonna
She
keep
wears
it.
her bonnet.
Okay, when I drop my daughter off at school at 7 something in the morning, I work from home. I have my bonnet on. Okay, not a bonnet. I don't wear a bonnet. I wear a do-rag. As a matter of fact, I have my do-rag right here. This is my favorite purple scarf.
You wear it all the time, though. All the time.
All the time. I've had this purple
I have
scarf since
literally
I was like 14. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm about to say because I've seen Crystal at a senior year at LN going on the Kings Island trip. Crystal was in that do rag.
It's a do-rag. It's a hair
It's a
scarf.
do rag. I wear my do rag everywhere I go. I do not care. I don't care what Monique say. I wear my do rag, and you see these waves. They don't come naturally. It comes from brushing in that do rag.
Baby, I got 4C hair. We need to lay these edges, okay?
She got 4C hair. You heard it first. She got 4C hair. So I don't get why. I don't even know why she up in arms like that, because I feel like in that movie, Fat Girls, one of them had a bonnet on at some point in time.
Okay, let me just explain.
I gotta check the records on that though.
Let me just explain what I think she meant and what I understood, what I took it as, because I know I don't know Monique, but I know her over time watching her heart. I don't think she mean it as women. What she's saying is be presentable, and this is something my dad kind of really drilled in us when we were younger, because he did not play about our hair. Like, it's like we always had to be very presentable, and that might be the Virgo in him, but it works. I don't want to send my daughter outside and her hair looks a hot mess and I'm walking around looking like everything. So I think it's just being presentable. You can't say, oh, I want to get a man, I want to get this stuff, and you walking around warding men off. Like,
so shit, some women still look good in their bonnets and they do.
I know. Let me tell you, I used to get hit on at the gym in this bonnet, face sweating, just
niggas is gross.
Still do.
God, men are gross. I feel sorry for men because we're gross. So it's just bad. Like I hate when I see women get hit on at the gym because it's like, damn, just leave them alone. Just leave them alone.
No, it makes me feel like I hate two things when I get hit on in front of my kid, you know,
Yeah,
and then
it's kind of weird.
yeah, it's just weird because I'm like, are you really attracted to me or are you trying to be attracted to my kid? Whatever, tomato, tomato. And
Yeah.
then I hate when I'm at the gym when I get hit on because I'm like, you really don't think I'm that pretty right now. Like literally, look at the sweat. And then they're like, oh my gosh, your skin is just so no, 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 no.
Well, you do got good skin, girl. You
No,
got
no,
some good
no.
skin.
I don't care how good my skin is. Don't hit on me in the gym. In the gym,
No,
kid, you
not
know
at
what I
the
look like in the
gym.
gym? I am bonnet up. Okay, this scarf is wrapped from here to dangling. You know,
Probably looking like the Crypt Keeper.
not be looking put together. This night and day at the gym. I just think I don't know, but I just think women have so much pressure, and maybe it's the pressure we're applying to ourselves to be a certain way, to be good moms, to be good wives, to be like I said, like we, I know moving on to our next topic. I watched this like influencer, Instagrammer, Lala. I think her name is Lala Milan. I think is what she goes by. She had a episode with Corinne Steffens. For people who don't know who Corinne Steffens is, aka Superhead,
Right.
and
She
she kind of fell off the map. She doesn't have any social media. She not in this. And one thing she said though, which is, I hate to say that I agree with her on this because, but as one thing she said is, for a man, and Q, you can correct me if I'm wrong. This is the most game I think a woman could ever give another woman. For a man, you kind of have to embody all of those things, right? You have to kind of be every woman. And for the right man, you should want to be. You should want to, like she was talking about, please him in that way. You want to be somebody that pleases him so well that, he don't need to do whatever else, and then you need to be able to get in the kitchen and cook, but these are all these pressures we're applying on somebody. You got to get in the kitchen and cook. You got to be able to do this. You want to dress nice. You want your body to look sure, whatever. We apply these pressures, but it's so real. And she said that she dates so many different men and she'll marry them. She's been married 5 times now, and yeah. She changes her name all the time. She never really wants anybody to know her real identity. Now she's got a lot of past hood trauma. You can tell in that, and I think that some of that stuff is something she should heal. But if you're running game on a man, you need to get inside of their head before they get inside of yours. That is the game. That is the ultimate game. And if you know how to do that,
one thing that I know, shout out to my nigga Ty, he always says, I'm a mind fuck you before I even actually fuck you. Because if I can get into, you hate that I said that, but that's one of his lines. Shout out to Ty. He's lived by that code and he's stuck by that code because I've seen it in action with some of the women that he's talked to. But you, as a man, you mind fuck a woman before you actually fuck them, because if you can get control of their mind, everything else would be. That's why you see a lot of these women go crazy once a man cheats on them or whatnot. Because once you fuck their mind, you touch their emotional side. Because for women, sometimes just have the weirdest logic, I believe. But yeah, you hate that I said that.
People, try to be harder than what they are, but I'm gonna leave it there.
Shout out to Ty.
He's right though. He is right to a degree, and it's the same way for women. But one thing that men don't understand, and this is like a lot of free game. One thing men don't understand, and I can tell you this as a, I told you guys I be in Clubhouse sometimes, Dylan down. I haven't been in them for a while, but
women are manipulators.
No. I was gonna say, if you mess with anybody that's a sapiosexual, which is they're attracted to intelligence over looks more so. So they're attracted to the mind, which is how I am. I like an intellect. I don't want to be with nobody who can't challenge me in my
nobody.
I don't want to be with nobody. I think that's, because I don't know if you've ever seen it, you know, and I think that was me and Sam's problem. It was like, no, I'm getting your head. No, I'm getting your head before you get my head. Like, this is going to be, we're going to do this together, you know? So I think that is a very true statement. And women, I've watched women get played and I've watched men get played. And I've watched some of the strongest men thinking that they're going to get into women's head. I'm talking men that be running game on women, thinking they're going to get into a woman's head. And then they realize they met their match too. You know what I mean? And that woman got into, because it's honestly, to me, I think it's easier to get into a man's head than to get into a woman's head. Because women think on so many different levels that in order to conquer that, you have to conquer each level. You have to eat, like for a man, you have to hit each level.
Because sometimes y'all be like A, B, C and jump all the way to TUV. As a man, we like to go in order.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But as a woman, y'all jump too much. And also, I will say this as well, like it as a man, it's not nice, but if you mind fuck a woman, you'll control her. But women are really good manipulators. Like, not gonna lie,
it's not manipulation.
It is. How is it not manipulation?
It depends on how you're using it. If you're using it,
excuse me, to get what she wants.
If you're using it to get what you want, or to be transactional, or to literally
transactional, yeah.
Sometimes it's just who you are. Like I was that. Like I guess I'm battling with it because. So
you ain't. So you never manipulated a nigga into just some free food or something, or some gas money. Stop that. We are.
That's child's play. I don't have to do that. What you mean? You know, like. Oh man, this is just a whole.
Yeah, she just thought about one. Yeah,
warned everybody how I used to be, right? And you know, me and Sam, we still do that. It's intriguing to me. We still get into each other's heads, like, and it's not to manipulate him, and he's not trying to manipulate me. It's just that's how we play. You know, like when you're messing with somebody that likes intellect. It's not always manipulation. It's just who they are. And if you're not as good as they are, they'll get inside of your brain a lot faster. I used to get into dudes' heads way faster than they got into my head. And then I'd be like, why is he going so crazy? What is wrong with him? Why is he tripping? You know? Kill, you giving that look? But it's not always manipulation. It's not always to manipulate somebody.
I mean, have
I ever done it out of spite? Yeah. But not out of manipulation, not to get something out of them, but to kind of seek revenge more so. Not to get something out of them. Not to get like food or a movie or something, but like to seek revenge more so.
Women in the comments, if you've ever used a nigga for a free meal, some gas money, some blunt money, whatever it is, you know what I mean? Put it in the comments because I just want to see. Well, y'all not going to put it in the comments because y'all not going to hold yourself accountable for it. So never mind. That's another topic.
I've never used a guy for free food. I didn't need to do that. I mean, I have done, maybe this is the same thing. I have done something like, well, I want to take you out on a date. And I'll be like, he all right, you know, but okay, you know, I just go sit and chit chat with him. So maybe that's the same thing. But I've never literally went through my phone book. And Sam says this to me too. He feels the same way that women do that, you know, but I've never looked through my phone book and be like, oh, you know, I definitely can get a free meal out of him. I'm hungry. Let me call him up. Is that what you mean? I ain't never done that.
I mean, not necessarily that. It can be just a nigga trying to holler at you. You can just be like, I'm about to go give me a free meal then. See what you talking about.
It depends on how you hollering though. It depends. Okay, Q, let me say this. When I was my first couple of years living in Florida, when I was 18, I moved to Florida, right? And I went to college here and I was leaving my classes and I was leaving campus and I was walking with my homegirl, Kristen. And this guy was like really pressing me to go out with him. He was like, I was like 19, 18. He was like 25, 26, right? Because I do like older men. So he was like 25, 26. And he was like, well, why don't you just go out and meet me at the movie? So I met him at the movies, right? And this is just so I can point out why you shouldn't do this. I met him at the movies and I already, you know, wasn't really that into him. But I was like, okay, whatever. He's persistent, whatever, I'll go. So I met him at the movies. I think he was like belligerently drunk. I'm pretty sure he fell asleep there. So I told my homegirl Kristen, like, I ain't never going back out with him. Like, I don't know, just there's just no connection, you know, whatever. So he stops me. He's like, man, I've been trying to get a hold of you. You know, let's go get something to eat. I know you hungry. Let me just feed you real quick, you know. So I go off campus. We go to like Popeyes. It's Popeyes. I said Popeyes. Make sure you listen to what I said. We go to Popeyes.
Hey, Popeyes is a quality meal.
Nothing's wrong with Popeyes, but I'm finna show you why.
Okay, I'm just saying.
So we go to Popeyes. I'm not really that hungry, but since he, again, was being persistent, I was like, okay, let me just try to give him another shot. So he's like, well, what do you want to eat? And I said, well, just give me like a chicken leg and some macaroni and cheese or something, I said, or some red beans and rice. I can't remember. And so he orders it. The lady gives him the total. The total is like $16.78, right? He screams out, $16.78. Like, what the hell did I get? Just starts going crazy about the price. And I was like, do you want me to pay for it? Like, you're tripping off of $16.78.
Yeah, back in 2008, boy, you better have $20 on you. It ain't that much, man. We didn't have inflation or nothing like that in 2008, 09, so we was making good money.
And you ordered the bulk of the food. He's like, well, what did you get? I said, all I got was a wing. And
he said, what did you get?
And so I'm like, this is why you should absolutely never. You just don't know what's going to happen. And after that, I was like, yeah, I don't know how women just find guys and to take them on dates. And I can't, because what do I have to dish out to go on this date and this trip? Like, I know women like that too. I know women who would just hit up a guy to see, if I'm going to hit you up, I don't want no date or no trip. If I'm going to use you for something, I'm going to use you for a life status. Like, is it going to enhance my career? That's the way my mind thinks. It's not I want to go to Mexico, so let me hit this guy up and be cool and go to Mexico. No, it's like, who you going to introduce me to that can take my life to the next level? Right. I don't care about no trip and no money. Like, I don't give a cuckoo about that.
I feel you on that one. But hey, if you are a woman out there doing that, more power to you. Hope you never get caught or bopped upside your head. Just saying, no domestic violence. We don't want none of that. But just be careful, because some of these niggas do not play like that.
They don't. And some of them, they'll fly you out. See, I ain't never had that. Ain't never been my ministry. I'm telling you, I ain't never had that issue where I done had some crazy dudes because, yeah, maybe I did get in their head too deeply, but I ain't never had no dude talking about, I flew you out here, now you can figure out how to get home. Now, that ain't never been my ministry. I ain't
not flowed out. I mean, I flew down my ex-girlfriend, but that was for because we were together. But I'm trying to figure out if I've ever went on a date and like asked a girl out on a date and then not paid for both of us. And like we actually went Dutch, or I've left her at the
you got up and went to the bathroom.
I'm trying to figure out. I don't think I've ever done it. I've always paid for the date. So
it's not my ministry. It's not my thing. I don't know. I'm more so like not the woman that walks into a room and demands attention. I just can't. Yeah. You know? It's just like, you know, and then people, you know, like moments later, people like, yeah, I saw you that night. And it's just like, oh, you know, I didn't even know nobody was paying attention to me. You know, it's like, right. It's like one of those. I'm not like the person that's like, look at me. I'm the pageant. Look at me, clear the way for me. Nah, it's like, you gonna notice if you see me. So to pivot around from all that banter, like we said, we missed you guys. So
we really did. This was really good.
We did. We missed being on here talking to you guys. I know I've read several people and they're like, when are you guys doing the podcast again? I'm telling y'all, we finna have some great people on here. We finna get y'all money right, get y'all to that bag, get y'all to a successful relationship. When I went to my friend's wedding, I walked around and I said, I'm gonna be the fertility goddess of the day. Because we had these like gold dresses on and I felt like a real goddess. And so I was like, I'm gonna be the fertility goddess. Everybody's coming out of here either pregnant or married. So we're gonna get y'all pregnant or married if that's what you want to do. You know,
we're gonna get you not over here yet, but we're gonna get y'all pregnant and married out there. All right.
Get y'all pregnant and married out there. Yeah, for sure. or into a relationship, whatever it is, you know, this is going to be your season, you know, welcome back. But you know what's also crazy? We've been at this for like a year now.
Damn, it has almost been like a year, hasn't it?
It's been like a year. So
Yeah.
yes, for the year. So I hope you guys are ready. Like I said, we're gonna get y'all to the bag. We're gonna get y'all into relationships. We're gonna get y'all healed out here. We're gonna have some special guests for y'all. So y'all just don't sleep. We're gonna get y'all ready for all things 2022. So don't be.
We're gonna end it right, y'all. We're gonna end it right.
Yeah, we got y'all. We got y'all. But Q, what you want to leave the people with after, you know, the Kevin Samuels, you getting the zombie shots? I'm just playing, y'all. I really am.
What I want to leave y'all with, first of all, appreciate y'all for coming back, rocking with us. Continue to rock with us. We're gonna continue to give y'all nothing but dope content. But what I want to leave y'all with is just continue to find yourself. Continue to do what makes you happy. Continue to find your voice. Don't worry about the storm that's ahead, because there's always a rainbow after the storm. All right. So don't worry about everything that's going on in your life, because God, or your higher, or if you believe in a higher being, or the universe, it will work itself out, whatever season that you're in, and the timing will be impeccable, and you'll never see it coming. But once you receive that blessing, you have to take it and run with it. Don't let nothing stop you from the blessing that's for you. That's all I got to say. What about you, Chris? What you got for the people?
I'll just piggyback off the same thing, because, you know, that's really just like embedded in my heart right now. It's like, trust the setting of the stage, not even the process, because I want to move people off the process and just remember the setting of the stage. Because trusting the process is like, well, some people say, I don't even know what the process is, but just trust the setting up of the stage. So if the stage moves you, so let's say like, okay, in order to get this certain scene, I need to build a door here, and I need to put a light here, and I need to, you know, trust the setting up of the stage. So if you lose a job, or if you're stuck in a limbo, you trust whatever little pieces and details you have that you may have gotten. Like maybe it's I applied to this job and I got an offer letter and they called me back. So just trust the process that you're on the right stage, you know, just trust the setting up of the stage. You might not know why that door need to go right there, or that lamp need to go right there, but just be happy that you got a light and a lamp, or you got a door right there. Just be happy for the little things, the little details that come up on your stage. And I just feel like I post something about that all the time. Like people saying, oh, well, I don't know why, you know, God is testing me so hard. I don't think that God is testing you. I think that God, just like your children, you know, you want to protect your kids, and he knows with this new level is going to come these Tabitha said it, breath. With new levels come new devils. So trust the stage, the setting up of the stage, because that door might be something you need for that new level. So just trust the setting up of your stage, y'all. Don't dwell on what you lost, but what's to gain, you know?
And don't dwell on what you lost. Yeah.
So I say that with full-heartedly. I've had some losses recently. So y'all just don't dwell on what you lost, dwell on what you gained, but for whoever that's for, you know. And y'all know, tune in, of course, because we got some stuff. We got some stuff coming.
You crazy. We appreciate y'all coming back with us, rocking with us for this episode. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Again, everybody, thank you for rocking with us. Continue to be great, be humble,
be a light,
be a light, and be you. Just be you. So we're gonna end it like that. Chris, it's great to see you again, sis.
I know, it's been so long. It's crazy. I'm so happy everything's going well. You even got you up back.
Oh man, all right, we gonna look. See, now we're gonna get the comment. They be like, "Who is Quentin's boo?" Don't worry about all that. Don't worry about all that.
What's her Instagram name?
She ain't got one.
Oh, she on her Corinne Steffens, her Elizabeth Ovelston.
That's the best way. Just know when I post them pictures, no face, no case.
You ain't going on my gram. See?
Nah, you can't go on the gram. So everybody, thank y'all for coming in. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Get ready for the new content that we got coming for y'all. And just be great, y'all.
Bye, guys.